life are in the power of your tongue, and those who love it will eat the fruit of it. Hey, experts, entrepreneurs, leaders, speakers, trainers, all the things, welcome back and welcome to the start of our new mini series. It is all about success foundations. Work your words. All right, we are getting into it. And so today we're jumping into episode one of that. And to, just one of those, it's very powerful, but we often overlook it. And it's really the words that come out of our mouths. And because death and life are in our tongue, and no matter how you slice it, we're going to eat the fruit that we produce from the words we speak, period. All right. So let me tell you a quick story. I didn't always think it was a big deal. I really didn't. In fact, it was kind of terrible. My mother could probably tell you um the better story or the better side of this whole thing. But I remember as my first mentor, who was my mother, was that she would always tell me to think before I spoke. Like even before this journey, like I had no idea of the impact of words, no idea whatsoever. Talk about the innocence of a child, right? But fast forward, and not only that, but the honesty of a child. But fast forward, life has a way of teaching you things, right? And then, we continue to grow, we develop, we evolve. And so, we have mentors and pastors and coaches, and they have also been able to help me to see that my reality was built by my own words. Okay. And so, as you can probably imagine, I made a quick pivot. I didn't even know what a pivot was, but I started making changes and shifting like it was nobody's business because I knew that if I was going to see what I desired, it was going to be up to me. Period. Okay? What I said mattered, but that also meant that what I watched mattered, what I listened to mattered, right? All of it matters. And so here I am years later, and right. I learned to speak life. Okay. I'm speaking life. I don't care what it looks like. Okay. I'm speaking life. And although I've had some, trial and error moments, I'm hoping that this here is going to really help you collapse time and all of this because that truly is my goal. Things don't have to, I don't think that everything has to take a long time. Okay, not everything. Okay, some of us might need a little bit more coaching than others. Okay, and I'm gonna raise my hand on that one. But the truth is, I started to believe, and therefore I spoke. Okay, and in doing that, I got to really watch my world shift right before my eyes. And so, speaking what I preferred versus what I saw, right? Speaking what had already been written versus my current reality, right? And so I want the same for you because we're not accepting nothing less than God's best for us. And I do mean in all aspects of your life, be it professionally, be it personally, every aspect, because guess what? He cares about every area of your life, okay? If he knows the very hairs that you have on your head, you know he cares about every aspect of your life. Okay? And if that's something that you need help with, or maybe you just didn't realize it, no worries. We got you. That's why you're here, right? And we're just going to start today. We get to determine our future based on what we do today. We get to determine our tomorrow. And so we're going to start with working our words, working them for our own good. All right? Because we get to determine. We get to determine. We're not letting things determine and define our lives for us. We get to determine them. We get to shape what happens in our reality, okay? And so let me just start here. I'm going to share just a few things with you that have really worked for me because I can talk about this all day because it really is real life for me. So I can talk about it, but we want to be about it. So I'm going to give you some things that have really helped me in living this life that I prayed for, living a life that sets my soul on fire. It had everything to do with the words that I spoke, right? And it started with me. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is the first tip, and that is reframing your negative self-talk. How you talk to yourself is major. It's major because here's the deal. And a lot of people, we don't talk about this that often, but our subconscious, Our subconscious mind or doesn't filter truth from lies. It really just believes what you repeatedly tell it. So if you're always saying things like, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that, whatever the case is, guess what? You're training your brain to accept that as what? As your truth. Okay? And so let's say you lost a big client, or you lost a big contract that you were up for. You knew it was gonna, like, you were like right there, and it just fell through. It didn't work out. The client changed their mind, whatever the case is. Okay, but you lost the big client or the big contract, right? So instead of saying I'm terrible at business, you're going to reframe it to say I'm learning how to serve my clients better, and this experience is a part of my growth journey. And even if you have to say it to yourself a few times, this experience is a part of my growth journey. We're always growing, we're always evolving. And the more you remind yourself of that, guess what? The more it becomes your truth. All right. And so, right now, I want you to grab your note taking devices, tools, whatever you have there, paper and pen, and just write down one, or you can even go as far as writing down any negative like thoughts that repeatedly play in your mind. I want you to write them down, and then I want you to rewrite a positive statement, just like we did in that example. Instead of saying, I'm not good at business or I'm terrible at business, you're going to say, I am learning through this experience. I am growing through this, or, change it and reframe it to be a positive statement. All right. Sort of like a T chart. So on one side, you write down all the negative self talk that you have been butchering yourself with. And then I want you to come up with a positive way to reframe that statement. Okay, make sense? All right, great. If you have an example, I want you to jot something down for me. Like, tell us, share it with us in the chat. Okay. All right. And then the second thing that has really blessed my life is daily declarations. Now, I didn't always do declarations, but I've been doing them for some years now. But I didn't always do them. And so declarations, again, because they're words, guess what? They are seeds. They are seeds. So the more you plant, the more they grow. And so when you declare positive things over your life, when you declare what you prefer, right, your brain starts aligning with those truths. And so I want you to try doing this every morning. It's a part of my morning routine. Tell yourself what you're capable of. And I write these in I am statements. Okay. I am. I am. Okay. I am capable of this. These are for instances that you can even borrow if you like. I am capable of solving complex challenges. Um, Opportunities flow my way. I am opportunities that are beneficial to me. You can word that however you want to word that, but I am exactly where I need to be in this moment or in this space in my life, right? You can reframe those. I like to put those in I am statements. Are they always in I am statements? They are not always, but you can. Okay. Opportunities flow to me. Okay. All right. I am a steward over all that God has entrusted to me. All right. So those are some examples. So I remind myself daily. So I have my morning routine. And so I remind myself daily of what I am capable of, what belongs to me as a daughter of the king, right? I remind myself that I am favored by God and men do well unto me. I remind myself that his blessings chase me down and overtake me. And these are just a few of those reminders, just to keep me focused on my purpose and my passion in order to profit, because that is also his plan, his will for my life, right? Okay, so it's about having an abundance mindset because it aligns. It aligns with your goals and it aligns with the plan for your life. Okay, makes sense? All right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to choose three. You could do however many you want, but let's start with three, especially if you're new at this. Three declarations that resonate with you. Write them on sticky notes, place them somewhere that you're going to see them every day, whether it's a mirror, whether it's a desk, whether you have a board. Maybe you're in your office and you have a board that's like, across from you that you can see every single day. I want you to say them out loud. And then here's another layer that I've added onto this, something that I started doing for my own self. So not just saying them, but also see them as I say them, because that has also allowed me to pause. So instead of me just saying, I am capable of hard things, I envision myself conquering the hard things. I envision myself in a stance of victory, right? I am crowned with victory. I see the crown being placed on my head. I am standing strong and bold. So I envision what that looks like for me. Okay, if I want to see my bank account look a certain way, guess what? I imagine those numbers. Okay? All right. So I want you to not just say it, but I want you to see it. Make sense? All right. Now that takes us to our third one. Our third one is, if you've been rocking with me any amount of time, you've probably heard me talk about gratitude, gratefulness, all the things, because I'm big on that. It is really important to me to be in a place of gratitude. And so when you focus on what's good, guess what? You keep attracting good things, right? You attract good people. And so speaking gratitude out loud, it amplifies the effect. So I don't always speak this out loud, but you certainly can. One thing I do is, I'll share with you in a second. I'll share with you what I actually do in a moment. But I forget who actually said it, but what you appreciates. So instead of complaining about your workload, or all the things that's going on, because we listen, we can look at one thing and it'll make us think of a whole bunch of things that we could start complaining about. But instead of complaining, whether it's your workload or things you see on a daily basis, I'm grateful for the opportunity to grow, to expand my capacity, right? Because sometimes you might have a workload, but sometimes that thing is stretching you. So it's not always a bad thing, but it's going to really matter how you look at it, right? What your perception is of that, right? How you perceive it. So a few years back, and I still do it till this day, I keep a gratitude journal. So I list 5 things I'm grateful for every single day. And it's usually a part of my morning routine. You can do this at any part of the day that you want, but it's part of what I do in the morning as I'm setting my intentions for the day. As I am doing, my visualizing activities or whatever I'm doing, that's included in there. And for me, because I don't consider myself a journaler, like long form journaler, that's not my thing. I write mine in bullet form, and it has helped me to be very consistent with my gratitude journal. Okay. Because I don't have the pressure or the stress of, like, I have to write this thing out in like paragraphs and pages and sentences, right? So and there are days that I want to just keep going. Some days I want to go beyond 5, right? I want to go beyond, because there's so much. There's like an overflow, in which I am very grateful for a lot of things. But nonetheless, here's the thing: I do this in the morning. Um, Sometimes it overflows into the evening. It just depends. But you get to decide when you're going to do it. And go, 3 to 5 things. It can be bullet form. You can write them out. However you decide to do it, things that you're grateful for. Okay. But another layer that I've added onto this, because it really helped me to be in the moment, is really helped me to be very mindful and not just jot things down, was breathing each thing in. So when I write, whether it's a person, a place, or a thing, or a moment that I'm writing down in next to that bullet, I take a moment to rest in that and allow myself to feel the appreciation of it. I didn't always do that. Like when I first started, um, I feel like I did when I first started, probably because it felt really good. And then as time went on and life just, started doing what life does, and you want to kind of bypass or just kind of get it done. I never wanted it to be a thing that I checked off my list. So, because it's just a very important part of my day, it helps me to really slow down. So I wanted to really ensure that it continued to help me to slow down and be in the moment, right? So not just writing it down, but also feeling the appreciation of it, all right? Because it can, especially if you are working a 9 to 5 and you have started your business as a side gig, and then you have family, and then if you add on you are a wife, if you add on if you're a mommy, if you add on all these other layers and pieces, things like this, we can skate over them, right? We can easily skate over them. And but these are the things that really help you to show up for all the other things that are important for you or important to you. And so this is why it's really important to ensure that your words are working for you and not against you, right? It's important to take these moments out of your day. Take moments. I don't care if you have to take a few pockets out of the day. Do what is necessary for you so that you can continue to show up in those spaces and places that have been assigned to you, and especially for the people that you've been assigned to. Okay? And so our words are going to work for us and not against us. So today we really just talked about reframing negative self-talk. We talked about those daily declarations, how they can really help our confidence and really help us to focus and zero in, and also about gratitude, writing it down, speaking it, being in the moment of it, feeling it, and really allowing yourself to appreciate what it is that you're writing down. And it doesn't matter how you write it, but we want to appreciate what we write down, okay? Your words are seeds. Remember that they are planting fruit. Your words are planting fruit. So what they ultimately are creating your tomorrow, okay? Your words today are creating your tomorrow. So every time you speak, I want you to remember that you're either building or you're tearing down. Building up or tearing down. Okay. Now, I want you to engage with us. Comment below what is one affirmation that you're going to start speaking, or one that you've been saying that can really just bless someone else, or, maybe something that we haven't thought about. Maybe it wasn't in examples here, or just something that has really blessed you in your own journey. I want you to share that below with us, please. And also help us grow this channel. And don't forget to subscribe so that you are in the know whenever we drop new content. Share with your favorite peeps. Get them in on this, okay, so that they can also be blessed by the information that we share here. Whether they desire to speak in training schools, they need strategy for their professional or personal lives. Cue them in. Let them know that we're here, okay? Share our channel with them, all right? So listen. Next episode is episode 2. We're going to go a little bit deeper. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Keep speaking life over yourself, your family, and your business. Okay? God's in all of it. He's with you in all of it. I want you to speak life, speak well of all the things. Okay? Now, this is something that you need so that you can remove fear and frustration, the stuff that's blocking you from really stepping into what it is that you know that you've been called and assigned to do, in your expertise, in your genius. You know that God is really giving you something. You're like, oh, I'm just having such a hard time trying to really overcome this fear and this frustration. I really want to speak better. I really want to become a speaker in schools. I really want to train in schools. And I'm like, oh, I don't know how that's supposed to happen. And oh my gosh, how do you do that? Or, all these things that come to mind when we think of these things, especially when God is expanding and enlarging our territory. It can be a little frightening, but listen, you don't have to be frightened, right? You don't have to be frightened. And even if you are, you're going to move bravely and courageously anyway. You're going to go forward, but you're going to go forward with strategy. And if that is what you need, say less. I want you to click the link below and learn how we can help you, whether it's helping you to get paid in the educational space. Doesn't matter whether you are like, listen, Letitia, I really just want to monetize my expertise. Click the link below. Hit the bell so that you're notified. We're here to give you strategy, because that is what's going to move the needle in your life. That is what's going to help you change the game. Again, don't forget, Like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the things, and I'll see you next time.